welcome to another Forge Alliance Server cast. I'm your host Swkoll, and today we're looking at a game sent to me by Le Pen. He sent this to me on the IRC chat, and I will cast it now. We've got some pretty good players on this team. Bottom side, we got Le Pen at Rock. We've got Sentinel taking mid. Suspect taking on the beach. And Flying Kangaroo taking on back. Top side, we've got Scorlio. It'll be Score. Taking on the mid. Beach, we've got fully BTS. Rock, we got Mr. White. And in the back, we have BMC Snake. And let's go to +3. Sentinel is rushing faster to the middle. Looks like he just went Land Factory to the mid, and he'll get there much faster than Scorlio. Scorlio is bringing 2 Thams, an NG, and a Celine. So let's see how this pays off. He requested a P-Gen from his teammates. Let's see who gives that to him. And it appears no one. So, actually, let's talk about a few things. We got quite a few players coming back to FAF. I saw a SC account just came back the other day, and Tag Seton, he's back and looking to get back into the ladders and stuff. Sentinel picks off the NG, very convenient. Barely got any mass, so Sentinel's under some Mizuki fire. Shouldn't matter too much. Sentinel already getting the head start in the mass race. And it looks like fully VTS will be making a play for the island. He's moved his interceptors in to deny transport. Let's see how this plays out. Oh no, it moves away. Oh, that's sad. It could have been denied. But he will spot it. And is there a bomber coming? No bomber. Other things, Galactic War is about 2/3 of the way there. Very exciting. And hopefully that will get all the way up to 100%. I know there are quite a few people ready to get in there last minute. It looks like Sentinel has been forced into the water, leaving the rest of the mass for Scorlio. Actually, he's changed his mind. That's a bit of a feint there, but Celine will see that and counter accordingly. But fully BTS going quite heavy into the Tech 1 Air. He's getting his drop ready, even though it's already been dropped. It's interesting, and Mr. White has successfully taken his own island. So looking at what's going on, a drop planned for Mr. White. And Setons going quite low in the health. Retreats back in. Looks like we'll be seeing a minute 7. Maybe some from Suspect significantly earlier, but Mr. White opting to go with multiple arty drops. Looks like one's going to be coming around down here. Actually dropping up on top rather than in this little beach area. But considering the defenses there, it won't really matter. So in the lower ocean, we'll see arty drops versus naval rush. While in the top, we'll be seeing slower navy versus single drop. Actually, is this tanks? Tanks and arty. And it will be dropping behind Sentinel. Sentinel getting, or Score getting a torpedo launcher. But massive Tham force coming in. Scorlio might be forced to retreat back into the water. Looks like they'll just get some veterancy and actually significant numbers advantage for Sentinel, although choosing to bring his ACU back rather than risking it. Because Gorlio going down very low, and he will go down minute 8. RD drops. Being successful, they took out that production going after Tech 2 mass extractors. Speed things up. Another already drop. Takes out a radar, but now Mantis is being pushed up by suspects. So they will eventually clean up with all these RD drops. Are there more planned? Possibly. Mr. White taking his time getting into the water, as is Foley, although Foley utilizing subs may be on his way, builds the torpedo launchers. The safe thing to do. You don't want bad things to happen and just get denied Navy, and you'd have to get a transport, bring it out into the middle of the ocean, start naval production there. So more transports, actually transports being given over to Mr. White from BMC Snake. We've got 2 of them, maybe filling them up with Arty. Sentinel is pushing quite far, but it looks like he will be pushed back. It's time to draw a line in the sand. And actually no. Sentinel will be moving out, trying to look for a weakness in the defenses, but emergency point defense is going up from BMC Snake. Will formally score. And actually, Tech 2 drops coming in from Flying Kangaroo. Where are they dropping? They're looking to attack BMC Snake's eco, although they're not being very covert about it. They're getting targeted by gunships. This one, see if it'll get its last drop in. Gunships will work to clean them up, but the transports make it out alive. At least they drop alive. More drops from Mr. White. This is just crazy drop. Crazy drop in left, right, and center. Actually, I think these were the original ones we saw back here. There's quite a bit of Navy being worked on from suspect. Are they dropping back? No, they're just dropping the beach position. And that will be quite deadly, although Tech 2 point defenses have been spammed up. You can easily counter RD, but you have to get close. Unless you get close, then Tech 2 point defense has a really hard time dodging the RD shots. Stationary things tend to have problems with that. It looks like they'll be pulling away, trying to avoid as much of that fire as possible. And Tech 1 air domination from Mr. White and Foley, so air is firmly in the topsides team's favor. We'll see if Flying Kangaroo can get that back. He's got the Tech 3 air. He's got his 3 pigeons, 3 Tech 2 pigeons, versus... Where'd you put his Tech 2 pigeons? Oh, right here. I'm dumb. You've got 2 working on a Tech 3 power. I know gunships being prepped from Snake to take on the Tech 1 Navy. A Tech 2 cruiser needs to get out and join that force as soon as possible, so this doesn't massacre it. And Sentinel continuing to run by the mid position. Ultras are now out, and gunships will take care of that force. Flying Kangaroo is slightly behind in the air production, so he can't really counter that with ASF. But a wall off from Sentinel, wall off in Tech. He's just sitting with a Tech 2 P-Gen and just teching mass extractors. Another drop coming in from Mr. White. Adding another transport to the fleet. This is quite a few units. Actually, 5 transports. What? I don't know. Oh, wait, I was looking at those. Either way, Tech 2 Navy has been put out by fully UEF shields are out on the battlefield. This Navy needs to be made useful. I mean, if you're going to rush into the water, or at least make a load of Tech 1 Navy, you need to push across. Air cover is being pulled in to cover the drops. The defenses, you got a couple Manti, some Tech 1 point defense. In general, just not enough. Sentinel working on banks of Tech 1 flak. You know. More drops from Mr. White, another transport Artie. Non-stop drops from Mr. White. Huge props, taking advantage of the fact that topside has air domination, and no one on the bottom side has thought to build cruisers. I mean, for this, you could have a single cruiser, and you'd recover the eco much more easily. I mean, the anti-air on Tech 1 frigates is pitiful. It looks like Suspect has lost the top, his 3 massive trackers in this position, and now gunships are harassing his force. Huge ASF from the topside team. Flying Kangaroo working his own ASF now, but he's not managing. He does not want to engage in an air fight. I think that's what's going on. And now Tech 2 Navy crew. I cannot speak. What can I just can't speak. I should just be quiet and stop casting. But anyway, Valiant class destroyers coming up from fully BTF that will counter the Tech 1 frigates quite nicely, but we're seeing Salem classes from Le Pen as well. Some denial of scouts from Flying Kangaroo, trying to get air control back locally. And it looks like this threat will eventually be countered after only massacring Suspect's eco. I mean, what are we looking at? Plus 71 with no power to speak of. What's he using his tower on? Just trying to get that torpedo upgrade, I suppose. I don't know why you get that. Now another arty drop right on the naval production. This should shut down naval production from Suspect, allowing him to get out. And Mr. White currently working on a destroyer. I think it's safe to say that the bottom side Navy has been lost for the bottom side team. And it appears Flying Kangaroo has just lost the air fight. Let's see, is VMC Snake transitioning to Strat Bombers? Not yet. Not yet. But VMC Snake will take advantage of the situation and deny air production. Currently running on 2 air forces, actually. One protecting this, and another one over here. That's actually Suspect was getting Raz. Does not have torpedoes to get out of that water. Completely lost Navy. Actually, just huge amounts of frigate spam from Le Pen. Le Pen could turn this around. He's got the Navy. I mean, this is a fairly small Navy. He's got a single destroyer and some shields. Suspect looks like it will live at least temporarily. And restorers from Flying Kangaroo. I don't think. Has he just given up on air control and is now building restorers? That's an option. Now Strat Bombers being produced from BMC Snake. He's got about 3 of them. The obvious target would be Suspect. He's been forced out of the water, completely unprotected by air, and can easily be hit by these strap bombers, which I believe is the plan. They're piling up there, getting ready to move out. In other news, so Suspect has been completely forced out of the water. That's a huge win for the topside team, along with BMC Snake working off 2 ecos. Has managed to just win air. Although the main advantage the bottom side team currently has is this frigate force. Okay, now strap bombers are coming in. Suspect has not been targeted. They're going after Eco. And it looks like just not enough to stop them. Another Tech 3 Mass Ejector will go down. So Sam's winning back, making a no-fly zone for Flying Kangaroo. Although to his advantage, all this air fight is happening over his eco. Though that's hardly made up for all the dead Tech 3 Mass Ejectors. Now, maybe an experimental from Sentinel would be an option. His eco has almost been untouched. He's in the position to make a chicken, self-destruct these walls, and walk it straight through this position. It's not like BMC Snake is making experimental, or is even really in the position to. And Suspect coming under torpedo fire. There's quite a bit of wrecks in these oceans, but he needs to get out of there. Torpedo bombers are not kind to ACUs. It looks like Mr. White has started positioning cruisers offshore of Sentinel's mid-position. He's sitting on double raz. He needs to do something quick. Otherwise, cruiser spam will take out this mid-position. It looks like Suspect will get run over by Tech 1 Navy for the last time. If these were useful torpedo bombers, they might have actually killed them there. But alas, Seraphim torpedo bombers are barely even worth building. Though they are still torpedo bombers. Restore is moving out, mentioned to act as anti-air flak against Tech 1. But the ASF comes in and it's all over. Flying Kangaroo continuing to build restores. And then another drop from Mr. White. He's continued with these drops. He's taken air control and ran with it. See this one? It'll be dropping in this position. Tech 1 mexes, but Tech 2 points means this will be a very unsuccessful drop. Looks like Sentinel will be holding out with massive banks of anti-air and TMD. now the naval fight. We're seeing restores and well, not restores, riptides. Riptides and shields versus massive amounts of frigates. And torpedo bombers coming in to try to snipe cruisers. So there's just one cruiser too many. Suspect makes it out with 800 health in the ACU. And now battle cruisers coming out from full BTS. This might work out for him. Riptides, frigates, and a battle cruiser. And now destroyers are now parking themselves at the beaches of Suspect. This position is just about dead. Sentinel. He's getting an upgrade. Possibly double resource allocation. Well, not double resource, double nano. Tech 1 is moving in, trying to get this job done. If Le Pen can win this naval fight, then that will pretty much even out this battle. Although I'm afraid there may be just a few too many Riptides for these frigates to handle. Although second battle cruiser is now out, evening things up. Although one weakness he could exploit is the complete lack of torpedo boats. Tech 2 subs counter all of this quite nicely. Except the Riptide. They float. And it looks like it will be a victory for fully BTS. I don't see how the bomb site can really come back at this point. Really. Much better micro from Flying Kangaroo this time around, rather than the previous air fight. With superior micro, he might actually be able to win back air. Actually, Le Pen putting some of his own ASF into the fight, trying to even out numbers, but it looks like no anyone's air fight at this point. Actually, further jobs from Mr. White, just completely amazing jobs. Another drop comes in. All the Swkoll was just about dead. He's trying to put out ultra builds with no build capacity. Although it appears fully BTS is not won a definitive victory in the Northern Ocean. Oh, and Chicken, GG's. Chicken from DMC Snake. If Sentinel had gotten his own, things would be different. And Sentinel goes down. Actually, is Sentinel going down? Yeah, Sentinel goes down minutes 25. Evening the player count up for the bottom side and top side team. Looks like Le Pen will be forced to retreat against superior shields and navy and battle cruisers. I think I'll just go ahead and run this at whatever sim speed my computer can handle. There's no way back from the top side for the bottom side team. You got a chicken, full health chicken, ocean flooded with cruisers, a naval battle that's just about lost, an air player who has not managed to win air at any point at this game, and has resorted to just denying Tech 1 and Scouts. But the chicken is taking the safest route, standing right by his allies' cruisers as not to get attacked by restore fire. Although if it goes too deep, restorers will be able to take it out. There's suspects ACU. He's just running away over to Le Pen's base. Although maybe with stealth and sufficient power stalls, Le Pen might be able to win back Navy. Though, interesting, Foley's not getting back this massive naval wreck, which could easily win him the naval fight. I guess he feels that he's won already. And more drops coming in from Mr. White. 4 transports, all filled with Tech 1 Arty. We're about to land on the beaches of Suspect. Actually, where are these headed? Can't tell. Actually, just dropping. It's an NG drop. Interesting. Perhaps he feels he needs more mass. Full health chicken still a major threat to the bottom side, but it looks like here's the snipe attempt. It's moved just far enough away from the cruisers, strat bombers, and restorers, trying to fight scouts rather than experimental. Now the ASF has been scrambled for the top side. Chicken is not losing that much health. Quite the air force for the top side, but this time Flying Kangaroo was getting a much bigger force from Le Pen than he had before. Le Pen actually made a Monkey Lord. Interesting, if he can send that through the middle, good things can happen. DC, chicken running for the water, trying to get closer to those cruisers. Cruisers definitely swaying the air fight against, well, in the MC's favor. But it looks like Flying Kangaroo will actually win back the air fight. Oh, messages on FAF. Yay. Looks like the chicken with sufficient regen and shields will survive. And now another naval engagement. This time looks like it was brought on by Le Pen. He's ground firing his cruisers. Hoping to win. And yes, taking advantage of the complete lack of torpedo boats. Massive Tech 2 sub force is now taking on all this navy. Torpedo boats are now being spammed out by Foley. He has all of exactly 1. This is incredibly bad for Foley. He's also made the mistake of only a single cruiser and having lost air. So these restorers could conveniently come out here and assist in just winning this fight. Now it is worth noting that the battlecruiser does have some weak torpedoes and sort of useful torpedo defense, but it's hardly that effective. nowhere near as effective as torpedo boats. You can hardly counter the Tech 2 subs. Although this push will only be as valid as it takes for fully to get out sufficient numbers of shields and mostly just torpedo boats. So it continued back and forth. And now Tech 3 torpedo bombers, which is interesting considering he has lost air. Now the chicken is moving out again. Remnants of the air fight still scattered across the land. So much mass for whoever can grab it. The bombsite team can grab that. It'd be very, very nice of them. Now Restore is moving out. And the chicken turns around. So the chicken is essentially quarantined. At this position, can't really do much. Although that Restore it would be nice to see a Restore kill these NGs. Defeating Mr. White. He's got 20,000 reclaim and is power stalling. What is he doing? Oh, he's getting experimental bomber. Not the best unit to get when you don't have air control, but I'll give it to him. Now a nuke might be an interesting option from one of these players. Flying Kangaroo getting some sort of upgrade, perhaps Tech 3, but yeah, that must be Tech 3. Woo! And it spins around. Suspect getting a hidden navy. Oh, did Mr. White see it? He's no clue. Very good move from Suspect. If you can get the navy back. Just subs to kill the cruisers, that's all he needs. Because anything that's not a sub has been killed. And Le Pen is forced to retreat the second time. Now that this force is mostly torpedo boats, it would be nice for Le Pen to switch to torpedo bombers, considering there's like 2 cruisers. That would be a nice counter. And now the Monkey Lord is being from Le Pen, that we saw a long time ago, slowly making its way over to Suspect base. But right now we're seeing a huge eco advantage for the top side. This whole mid position has been denied, as well as the beach. And now another naval fight. Battle cruisers dying. Shields are going down. The Mr. White power stalling. Yeah, he's power stalling. Not the time you want to power stall. No, in the middle of the most important naval fight, not exactly when you want to power stall. Although the torpedo defense on these torpedo boats is working wonders. Aeon Tech 3 torpedo bombers will be working their way back, killing subs. That past kill 3. Getting no kills. Perhaps the second battlecruiser will go down. And the Flying Kangaroo is mobilizing his Air Force and ASF to take on this Navy. Wise move. Where's the chicken? Did I miss something very important? Oh no, chicken is still sitting under the shield. You can see it behind those icons. So this Navy could easily be turned around. We're looking at a force of 25 restorers versus 3 cruisers and a couple shields. That is not a fair fight in the slightest. Although it would be nice for them to focus down the cruisers. Well, they're quite far away and out of range. I would like to see a player try to drop here and take over, whatchamacallit, the reclaim. I mean, dead battle cruisers are still quite a lot of reclaim. Restorers are working wonders. Only just not making a sufficient amount of cruisers. And he's spamming them out now, but it just might not be enough. It looks like the Mr. White and VMC Snake might try to challenge this. They're sending their air forces reasonably close. Now let's see. Shield's doing a much better job, especially when you have power to run them. Though these cruisers are working wonders. Sitting back, you can see the line of where their range is. Cruiser range is where nothing has been built. And actually an NG drop from Mr. White might be looking to get a lane spam going. That might be a nice move, although Monkey Lord and Restorers would say no to that. And that looks like another air fight. Fortunately for Flying Kangaroo, he was in a patrol pattern, not really anticipating that. It looks like sufficient numbers for Flying Kangaroo. He will win it back, especially with all the Restorers. And the amount of health they give his Air Force. Actually, heavy gunships trying to sneak by to take on some cruisers. It just won't be happening. The Flying Kangaroo is a bit occupied with an air fight in destroying fully BTS's navy. Well, it looks like he will keep air despite cruisers. Well, the Restorers have been softened up quite a bit. Hopefully Le Pen can take this as a key advantage to reclaim this. This is just a massive field of reclaim. If a player were to try to grab that, it would be amazing. A Monkey Lord standing guard from Experimentals coming down the middle. Looks like finally the air-to-ground weaponry, i.e. the Restorers, is now thinning out and will... Actually, this is anyone's fight right now. Who can spam up more anti-air? Tech 2 Flak has been prepared in the event that they make landfall, which they very well might. Meanwhile, VMC Snake making drops onto the speech. Well, he can't really drop here. The bottom side could. Apparently, Corgi Spenchies probably distracted elsewhere, but just getting slaughtered by a couple Mantis. Excuse me for a second. Okay, and back on Setons casting at swim speed -2. Okay, I don't know what my swim speed is right now. I don't care to look. Force, not like the heat that they're getting. The first player to try to get some of the reclaim is instantly slaughtered by a couple Tech 2 subs. Oh, and now it looks like Strap Bombers and Restorers are working to trying to kill the chicken. They can kill the chicken right here. Taking out those cruisers would be a nice benefit. And just the splash of Strap Bombers taking them out. And it looks like the chicken will go down. Indeed it does. This opens up the possibility of Suspect taking back his position. I mean, most of the cruisers have been cleared out. A huge Tech 2 laser force from Suspect is now out. He's got naval production elsewhere, but actually this is being denied. Never really used it. So now, Suspect, he's got a chicken to reclaim. Most of the reclaim was taken by the topside team. This game was far from over. The key turning point was Kangaroo unprecedentedly taking back air control from EMC Snake. He's now just no respect, going in directly above VMC Snake's mid and taking out Tech 3 V-Gens. That must be a bug, I mean, shoot! Well, the experimental bomber is about half done. Just crazy things are going on at this point. Monkey Lord with 10 kills. Trolling. See what happens. Mr. White, in a half-hearted attempt to get back air control, is taking on Flying Kangaroo's small air force combined with Le Pen's small air force. Actually, experimental bomber completed. This is the second one. It wants to steer clear of the air force. I mean, Flying Kangaroo could kill that rather quickly. Interesting. Mr. White is using the aircraft carrier for his air production. I mean, it's the most cost-effective way to produce air. Also, the fact that you can pick up and move your production is quite handy as well. Makes you significantly less vulnerable to nukes. But the significant disadvantage is Suspect's new navy could easily kill all your air production at once. Although he has this factory up here, which will also be a factor. Sooner or later, unit limits starting to be a problem. VMC Snake, he's almost at the cap. Flying Kangaroo, he's a bit further from it. Mostly because he doesn't have a mid position to manage. That has been given to Suspect to keep up his land spam and keep up just holding his position. He's not bothered to reclaim the chicken yet. He actually resorted to mass fabs. And Suspect currently working on a nuke. She's stopping a nuke. He's stopped working on a nuke for some reason. Because Suspect was just forced to make Tech 2 mass fabs after he was forced away from his mass extractors. So, as opposed to snipes, what would be the major options? Well, the bottom side team could either go after UNC Snake and Mr. White setting this pond. They're fairly well defended over huge amounts of cruisers, aircraft carriers, and air production. And over here we've got fully BTS sitting partially in the water. He's surrounded by NGs, but has more cruisers than I can count. In front of him, and Le Pen building a bug. Suspect in left hand, also fairly well protected, sitting in a pond. So suspect's also there. And Flying Kangaroo sitting in the back, chilling out, getting TFP power. So no one is in a very vulnerable position. Flying Kangaroo pulling his ASF away from his restorers. Not the best thing you want to do. Your restorers will all die. Although 2v1 air micro might be an option. Actually, it looks like numbers for VMC Snake. Flying Kangaroo microing like he... What? No, never mind. Thought he was controlling two air forces separately for a second there. Stores are being brought back in. Very critical air fight. I can't call it, although there's quite a bit more blue than pink at this point. You can't count out the restorer. Has been constantly putting in firepower into this air fight. Although the air fight is drifting over this force and is now getting in range of the aircraft carrier fire. It's not good for Flying Kangaroo. But Le Pen is getting an air force over here, putting them into a nice patrol that should tip the air fight in Flying Kangaroo's favor. And we'll hopefully win it for him. Well, I'm surprised there have been no destroyers from Mr. White, just to counter all this Tech 2 nonsense. Flying Kangaroo retreats with his ASF. No, never mind. He's not retreating, he's just making a strategic retreat. And now we're seeing the two bombers moving in over this Navy. This will be quite devastating for Le Pen. All his hard work in Galaxy Class. Galaxy Class lives. Long live the Galaxy. Although, too many destroyers died in that. One left. See, Le Pen has some air force locally, plus all these cruisers. Looks like he'll be able to handle that. And now, Mr. White is in a very bad position after great play the whole game. His decision not to make, well, anything to counter the invading force was a fairly bad one. As now he's about to lose his air production and his island. Although if there is a sliver of hope for the top side, BTS is seeming to win the endless naval fight. So many wrecks. So many wrecks. Now let's see, how's that nuke coming? It's being built by a single Tech 1 NG. That'll take forever. Looks like continuing to work on mass stabs. I do not agree with that decision. I mean, he's got Tech 1 mass factors to upgrade. Actually, the bomber managing to get so many kills. He's sitting on 160 kills. Will go down. Bomb. They killed that power. Definitely hurt Le Pen's Navy quite severely. It looks like Tech 2 gunships will be the counter of choice to take out this force. So the damage has been done. Most of the build capacity that was here is now dead. Most of the aircraft carriers remain alive though. At least temporarily. And now suspect deciding to get back into the water. It appears Flying Kangaroo has lost most of his stores. He's down to the last 4. And the Monkey Lord expected to get across the pond in 3 minutes. If the bottom team continues to have air control, this could be a great thing for them. This could easily just go up there, but if they've lost air control, strap bombers combined with gunships combined with double overcharges and a chicken will be quite deadly. And Le Pen's dropping NGs to reclaim. Significantly less reclaim in this ocean. I mean, he could drop them right here and still get more reclaim. It looks like the MC Snake has finally managed to get back air control locally in this position. Though maybe Le Pen and Flying Kangaroo, their air forces pulled together and still win. It's getting into the realm of game vendors at this point. There's so much math on the field that the players can effectively make whatever they want at this point and get away with it. Gathis might be a reasonable suggestion. Or at least finishing this nuke. As I say that, the nuke is finished. Not surprisingly good timing. And in a few minutes, that will be complete. And let's see, anti-nukes. No anti-nuke for Mr. White. No anti-nuke for BMC Snake. And alas, no anti-nuke for Foley. Actually, he does have an anti-nuke. I misspoke. That's embarrassing. He started work on a fatty, but gave up on that. He's got 2 anti-nukes loaded, so this, just don't nuke this. Get it anywhere else on the map you want. Don't hit this. Technical engines are being self-destructed. Mr. White hitting that unit cap. Actually, no. I can't use it. Yeah, unit cap is a serious problem at this point. Sheer numbers of battleships are pushing Le Pen back, and if Le Pen could secure this navy for this ocean, drop about as many NGs as he wants, he could make a map war, perhaps 2. Just non-stop fighting for the past 30 or so minutes. But fortunately for the topside team, they've managed to regain this position. They've kept it. Snake getting an eye. She got it. Front. He's got a chicken almost complete. Oh, here it is. I missed it. Fire again. Cost him 3,000 power. Is he using it? Not yet. But either way, still a very effective unit. Only having a difficult time keeping his shield online versus quite insane battleship fire. That is, the Cybern battleship is Butch's choice of the battleships. It's cheaper than the UEF. It has less health, and less firepower, but it'll still get the job done. Especially if the shields were to go down. This battleship is really the only firepower for, well, this one as well. And the third one that just gets reduced. There's significantly more battleships. Most of the fire is coming from cruisers, targeting these galaxy classes. Although there's so much torpedo tactical missile defense, it's rendered mostly irrelevant. Strap bomb is coming up from Mr. White, although a cruiser will not allow that. Multi-Lord has been redirected to the corner of the map. Luke is at a quarter of the way there. Too many things to render. A minor naval fight. Neither player really deciding to put too much investment into it. Although at this point I'd say bottom side still has the air control. It's 2v1 Le Pen, doing quite the nice moves with the air. I mean, without Le Pen's Air Force, Flying Kangaroo would have had a much harder time doing much, and chicken has been completed from Mr. White. The middle chicken is almost done, so 2 chickens running down the middle. Means the snake has reclaimed the walls. That should tip off the bottom side team to something is happening. And 5 strats have been piled up. And a nuke has been rushed. Oh, I missed this nuke. It has been rushed up from Mr. White. Let's see how fast it gets built. Got about 80 engines working on it, so about 50% faster. I do disagree slightly with Napalm. In his recent cast, he said assisting anti-nukes and nukes aren't very useful. If you get this many engines around one of them, you can build it significantly faster, and when it comes down to nukes and things like that, seconds matter. So there is an anti-nuke, but it's not loaded from Suspect in the beach. But Penn has an anti-nuke that is also not loaded. And in the back, no anti-nuke. So this nuke is in the position to do quite a bit of damage once it is completed. Apologies for the low set speed. I can't exactly do too much about it. Strap bombers coming in from 9 Kangaroo. What's the target? The snipe attempt on Foley BTS. He is risking it quite a bit though, flying over several cruisers without too much air cover. Air cover is just now being pulled in. And Mr. White putting his own ASF into the fight. Another shot bomber goes down. The unfortunate for Bonaside if this doesn't have to happen. Foley sitting just outside the water trying to get away. It looks like Banks. Tech 2 anti-air. Foley gets out unscathed. There are further strap bombers. There's so many of these things that air crash damage death becomes a problem. Although these are nice gifts of mass to bully if he actually needs mass. Although perhaps the lapse of control has allowed the pen to take back this position. Battleship under fire. There's a bug.
Strategic launch
And
detected.
there's the nuke. Let's see, are anti-nukes loaded? Nope. And nope, this nuke could head anywhere it wanted to. Great targets would be air production right here. Got some nice tech power. Right here would be a great target. Flying kangaroo. Not even bothering to run. Surviving on hope alone. This would be a nice kill. Oh, he's probably glitched. Can't move. Surrounded by NGs. But looks like the anti-nuke will be headed across. Maybe naval production would be also a very nice target. Kill all these NGs. And allow fully BTS to come back again in the naval fight. We know he needs to come back another time. But that appears to be the target. Suspect walking slowly out of the way. Interesting. Support commanders have the option for the pen. Maybe we'll see a tele snipe. That would be interesting at least. Although it would be difficult against banks of Take 2 torpedo launchers. And now Strat Farmer's coming into the area from Mr. White's attacking suspect. He'll look for the ACU most likely and not find it. It's just not there. Now we know they're going after the anti-nuke. I don't know if this is enough to break it. It looks like it will not be. They won't even get through the shield. So a half-hearted attempt to snipe an anti-nuke will not be successful. Where'd that nuke go? Oh, there was another strategic missile. Really? I guess that must have been what it was. Should have been paying attention to the nuke. So many things. Gunships. Taking on undefended destroyers. And it looks like finally fully BTS will be forced out of the water. And the problem is, I think every player is hitting unit limit. What, suspect actually has 500 units. I disagree with suspect on that. I believe they do have the air control to win. I mean, plus they've got this Monkey Lord in hiding. And now the build capacity has come under fire. Fully will have to either start retreating or come up with another plan. Let's see, how was the nuke? Nuke is halfway complete. Suspect. You don't even. Alright, not having mass is unexcusable at this state of the game, considering just how many mass characters he has, how much reclaim he could possibly have. Actually, Le Pen getting most of that. The Frenchies are about to catch up there. Le Pen sitting at 130k reclaim. That is kind of ridiculous. And if you do not agree, you are wrong. It is a ridiculous amount of reclaim. Mr. White just... NGs are so depressed. They've given up. They're going home. Those two chickens in the middle. Although your suspect has not been spamming out Navy in sufficient quantities and has allowed Mr. White to get a bigger Navy and strap bombers. I think they might be trying to hit the Monkey Lord since dodging sufficiently. The second nuke. Halfway there. Battleship's actually getting jammed in the factory. Not good for them. The game has really slowed down. Wish I could run it at a higher sim speed, but that just isn't an option. These two chickens are the most promising hope of ending the game at this point. There's a strategic missile defense and tech 2-point defense. It will be interesting if air alone can take out the two chickens. This Air Force is a bit out of position to take them out. But it easily could. Support commanders now coming out from Flying Kangaroo. And now a Megalith. If that doesn't win the Navy, I don't know what will. In fact, Megalith, combined with their 100,000 health, have some amazing torpedoes, making them the Sirens' effective naval experimental. And the strap bombers are now coming out. 5 of them, along with Air Force's 3 players. Nice dodge from UMC Snake. There's a handful of blacks, but those won't do too much. So it appears the chickens will survive just temporarily. All the players hit unit limit at this point. I believe I've done this before. Away. Fully managing to push back using rows of shields. Not power scoring, just shields go offline. Surprised these shields aren't dead. There's no reason why they should be alive. I'm allowed to get their shields back. be up to how far these chickens can get, if they can get all the way in or not. Snoop being built incredibly slowly. Suspect. Stop man stalling. I know you can hear me through this sound recording, but you have to stop stalling on math. There's enough math on this map for everyone to have some. It's okay. I mean, like, Pen has done a good job of cleaning up all this mess, though. He's sitting on almost 200,000 reclaims. Could build 3 scapus with that. The lag, it killed. I'm melting. The lag is causing me to melt. Alright. That looks like we'll see a multicolored air fight. Hopefully this will speed things up. The definitive winner of this air fight should be the last. Hopefully. Mr. White essentially sacrificing his entire air force to some 4 micro. Allow suspect to kill it off. Or at least most of it. And now some tricky air micro is going on. If someone could give me their opinion on this air micro, I think that Mr. White essentially just ran away. That would be interesting. No, actually a bug being pulled in to deal with the chicken. Come on, you can do it. Yeah. Has been constricted by flying kangaroo. It's like at least one of these will go down. And now loads and loads of strat bombers coming in from Mr. White. Where's the target? Importantly, what's the target? It's the anti-nuke. That anti-nuke does not stand a chance. And the nuke is loaded from Mr. White. Your fight is almost over. Quite a ridiculous amount of mass in this ocean now. That looks like the anti-nuke will go now. To about a bazillion straps. Now it'll be interesting to see what these strap bombers do. They are getting attacked by ASF from Le Pen. Fully UTS system somehow managed to cruise its way back.
Strategic launch detected.
And there's the nuke. Their nuke defensive here. He's got 3 missiles here. What all of this is vulnerable. Mass farming would be an interesting target, or the opposing nuke. That's the biggest threat to the outside of that's the target. Yeah, they scouted it, they know it's there. Although you probably could just send the strap on just to take care of it. If anyone has ideas on how to reduce the CPU consumption of Swkoll, that would be great. Preferably without spending money. I mean, even running slow on their computers. Penn saying Navy has finally won. That's what I've said the last couple times. It hasn't been true. Although finally strap bombers from Flying Kangaroo trying to make an impact, will get cleaned up quite nicely by ASF from BMC Snake. Peter, you can do it. So the definitive winner of the air fight would be the bottom side team. They've managed to win against those ASF. Although Suspect has lost his Navy, at least partially. And you just go this way, Force goes this way, and forgets managed to get their way through. The mass farm by nuke. You could have been finished a long time ago had Suspect not been mass stalling. At least he's finally not stalling now. Beautiful. And there goes Suspect's hope of contributing more so to the game. But if BMC Snake is resigning, what's that? Foley has done amazing work just staying alive from the position. GG's. So thanks to Le Pen for telling me about this, although it took forever. And I have to go do stuff. The Monkey Lord is finally managing its way. Got GG's. Looks like the victory will be given to the bottom side because Le Pen will eventually win this. Take out this position. Ecos would be unbalanced, and BTS would die. Come on, Sim Speed, you can do it. I believe in you. I thought there was a resignation. You know what? I'm gonna call it a day. Good work to everyone on the team. Thanks to Le Pen. Hope you enjoyed this cast. I am quite tired. And good night.